What is the Mass Effect headcanon project? For a complete breakdown, I recommend you hit the link right here. But for all intents and purposes, the majority of this series will be presented as a typical Let's Play, but rather than blind first-time reactions, I will be documenting all of the events of the games in retrospective. This will include breakdowns of specific encounters, my occasional personal views and critique of the game itself, Easter eggs, bugs, and glitches.
What the fuck?
But most importantly, a detailed explanation of my own personal headcanon and why I perceive this particular Commander Shepard to be the most compelling and interesting. I have painstakingly developed this headcanon because of how immersive and expansive this trilogy really is. As an aside, this isn't what I consider to be the best complete playthrough, it's just what I think is ultimately the best story that can be told with the content that there is to be discovered. To get to this point, I have had to play the trilogy so many times with so many varying outcomes that even to this day I am still discovering something new with every playthrough. It's a monument to the absolute masterpiece that is Mass Effect, and I hope that I manage to encapsulate those who also love this series as I do, so as to stimulate discussion on a video game that even now, many years later, still has people talking. If you are new to this series, I will provide a link to the complete playlist in the description below. Otherwise, welcome back. It's time for some Alliance business. We are heading to Terra Nova.
Boy, am I glad to be off of Novaria. I don't know which was worse, the cold or the corporations. One will freeze your balls off, the other will sell them out from under you. With all due respect, Commander.
I have to go.
Alright, see ya.
That is a relatively succinct analysis of the entire Novaria mission, to be fair, Joker, I'm not gonna lie. Greetings, spacefarers, I'm Mykul. As we inch ever closer to the final stretch, it is important that we check in with the crew. At this point in the story, our relationship with each squad member essentially comes to a head, with the next priority mission being Vermeer, which is ultimately a turning point for all of us. Also, just a quick correction from last week, thanks to this lovely commenter, the Paragon Renegade bug on Novaria is in fact still in the game.
If you are here to talk about Benezia's death, you need not bother. She brought it upon herself.
As of yet, Liara must not trust that I truly care. She honestly doesn't want to talk about it.
Don't pretend it doesn't bother you. She was your mother.
She was. But she was not. I prefer to remember Benezia as she used to be, before she was corrupted by Sovereign's power.
Normally I would pick the bottom option, but this is Liara, and at this point I just wouldn't be callous to her.
The best of your mother lives on in you. Her determination, her intelligence, her strength.
That is kind of you to say. I appreciate your concern, but I am fine. Benezia chose her path, just as I have chosen mine. I am with you until the end, Shepard.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
Benezia was swept up in events beyond her control and lost herself. She fell under the spell of indoctrination and became part of the very thing she wanted to stop. But I will remember and honor how she lived, not how she died. My mother was strong, kind, and beautiful, and now she is gone.
Are you going to be okay?
You are kind to ask, Shepard. I do miss her, and I grieve for what happened to her. But I will not let my grief interfere with what we are trying to accomplish.
I like talking with you, Liara, no matter what the subject.
You have been very understanding with me, Shepard. Very patient. I appreciate that. I know there are some strange beliefs about my people. I am familiar with the legend of Asari promiscuity, but those rumors have little basis in fact. When one of my people joins with an individual from another species, it is a very deep and spiritual exchange. We do not enter lightly into a union.
Is this a proposition? Does this count as flirting?
Are you saying you want to...
No. Oh, no. I am not very good at this, am I? I'm sorry, Shepard. I am trying to explain why I have been so... reserved. The Union is more than just sex. It is the lifeblood of my species, the way we Asari evolve and grow as a society. That is why I have never... that is why we must choose our partners with great care.
You've never done this? For real, you're a virgin? Honey, don't worry. So am I.
Wait, are you saying this is your first time?
I am only 106, barely an adult by Asari standards, and I spend most of my time absorbed in my research. I never really thought about it. Not until I met you. You are very special to me, Shepard. But with all that's happened, Saren, the Geth, the Reapers, I do not know if we are ready for this.
That is a really long-winded way of saying that you're a dork. But I understand. I'll let you take the lead, Liara. I have other concerns anyway.
These are dark times, Liara. Maybe once all this is over.
I'm glad you understand, Shepard. There is too much at stake. We need to put aside our personal feelings and focus on stopping Saren. I wish it did not have to be that way. But we all have to make sacrifices. Let's talk about something else.
I should go.
I like teasing her, but I also respect her. Hello, Caden.
Anything you need, Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
Killing Saren's, what was Benezi anyway? Second in command? Advisor? Anyway, it should set him back a bit. I'm sure Dr. T'Soni's hurting, though. Poor kid. Having to kill her own mom.
Any opinion on the Rachni?
Off the record? If we had the option, I'd as soon have left it to the Council. We weren't out here during the Rachni War. I'm not sure we have any business getting involved.
Just trying to get a sense of where the crew's at. Thoughts?
I didn't figure you'd have time to talk with all that's going on. There's gotta be some xenobiologists who want to read about the Thorian.
Yeah, probably, but who gives a shit? Let's talk, bro.
All in triplicate, I'm sure. Did you want to see me?
I'm just looking for an ear. The debriefing wasn't the right place to say how ridiculous this is. Seems like every other race in the galaxy is wrapped up in their own problems. They don't want to see what's coming.
Yeah, but you can't really blame them. We've seen a lot of crazy stuff. Our perspective is widening, and a lot is starting to make sense to us. But we're out here living it. Everyone else doesn't have that luxury. Normalcy bias is to be expected.
Wanting to believe everything will be fine? Sounds like human nature to me.
Yeah, I guess some things carry across species well enough. I should remember that after what happened with Furnace.
That was completely different, though. He was just an ass.
I think you'd carry a grudge over the crap you took from Vernus.
Before I met Vernus, I knew as much as any other civilian. Aliens were weird, superior, and tried to tell us what to do. I mean, it's only been 26 years since first contact. That's not a lot of time to understand them. It was Vernus who made me see how human aliens are. They're not different or special. They're jerks and saints, just like us. Hell, by the time I got payback, I didn't even want it anymore.
Caden here doing his best effort to pique my curiosity. Alright, I'll bite. What changed?
I don't see you snapping very easily. What finally did it?
He hurt Rana. Broke her arm. She reached for a glass of water instead of pulling it biotically. She just wanted a drink without getting a nosebleed. You know? Like an idiot, I stood up. Didn't know what I was gonna do. Just something. And Vernus lost it. Beat the crap out of me. Kept shouting how they should have bombed us back to the Stone Age. And that's when the knife came up. A military-issue talon, right in my face. I cut loose. Full biotic kick right in the teeth. Almost as strong as I can manage now. At 17, that's something.
Each of these choices gives us the opportunity to praise him. The differences being whether or not we approve of him choosing violence, his prowess, or his heroism. I do think he is an excellent biotic. It just feels more appropriate to stick with that.
Sat down by a kid. Vernus must have hated that.
He didn't have time to hate it. I killed him. Snapped his neck. They probably could have saved him if they got him to an infirmary quick enough. But they didn't. Caused a stir when they shipped him home. Bot training was shut down. Kinetics folded a couple of years later. So, yeah, maybe I hated that Turian. I mean, if one ass was enough to judge a whole race, I'd hate humans too.
Do you? That's kind of important.
I don't know. You don't seem angry about the Council strong-arming the Alliance.
Commander, I thought real hard about how to use my talents. When I swore the oath to defend the Alliance, it wasn't on a whim. If it comes down to it, I am a soldier. I have to believe that my superiors can tell our enemies from people who disagree with us. If the Alliance is missing its chance, it's because of men like Udina, not the rest of the galaxy holding us back. Of course, your opinion is the one that matters, Commander.
Damn right. I'm glad he understands. I lead from the top down. Whew, that could have been awkward.
As long as you remember that, we'll do fine, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. I should return to my duties now. Commander?
We'll talk another time, Lieutenant.
Good chat.
Commander, I wanted to thank you.
What for, Garrus?
For everything. Taking me with you, letting me be part of your team. I've learned a lot. Thanks, Commander.
Let us make nothing more of it, you bet.
You're welcome, Garrus.
Commander?
What's your opinion on the last mission?
You mean the Rachni, right? Like I said, the Rachni are dangerous. They proved that 2,000 years ago. I think it was a mistake to let them go. But that wasn't my call to make. It was yours. You know, you really should talk to T'Soni about her mom. She has to be hurting. Just saying, Skipper.
I already took care of that.
Do you have a few minutes to talk one-on-one?
Sure, if you have time. Figured you'd be busy with tactical briefings and whatnot. Don't know what I think about us attacking today, of all days. Kind of an ill omen.
I find it best to let the narrative open naturally. Of course, Shepard would know that it is Armistice Day, but that doesn't mean he should realize that's what Ashley is hinting at. I guess what I'm saying is Michael Shepard doesn't have that level of intuition.
I don't understand. What's today?
It's Armistice Day, when the first contact war ended. My family always marks it. Since I'm the only Williams aboard, I thought I'd ask you.
I don't see the significance. I'm sorry, Ashley. It does seem inconsiderate, but I'm just coming from the angle where Shepard is seemingly unaware, and hopefully we can find out. So why me?
You can't think I'm the most patriotic person on the ship.
Nah, you just happened by at the right time. Don't tell me you don't know about my family. My commanders always find out. It's not in my files or something?
Come on, Ash, don't beat around the bush. I clearly don't know, so just tell me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm General Williams' granddaughter, the commander of the Shanxi garrison in the war. The only human ever to surrender to an alien race.
Yeah, so what? It's not your fault.
Don't tell me you're blamed for that.
Not formally. Dad got passed for promotion over and over. And I think my record merits more than garrison duty in a backwater agri-colony. Takes a special kind of thick-headed to march into a job where your family's blacklisted. I did it anyway. I'm not gonna let our name go down with Arnold and Quisling. Granddad deserved better than that.
What happened to your grandfather after the war?
He was relieved of command as soon as Shanxi was liberated. They brought him back to Earth in irons, but there was never a trial. They quietly demoted him and stuck him behind a desk. He retired a year later and spent the rest of his life working construction in the colonies. Sometimes we hear about attempts to get him exonerated in some official way. Nothing ever comes of him.
As I recall, your grandfather held out for a long time.
The Turians wrecked the orbitals in the first wave and occupied the major cities. They sat in orbit, dropping rocks on anything that moved. Granddad dispersed the troops, but when they went into the cities for supplies, the Turians would wreck a block to eliminate one fire team. Civilians were dying, his troops were starving, and he couldn't contact Alliance High Command. So he surrendered the garrison.
Though I don't agree with her prejudice, it does have its roots. It's a problem, but it's systemic.
Is this why you're always going on about the Council?
If everyone else can look at Shanxi and say, this is why humanity needs to be stronger, then so can I. I'm entitled. So now you know. Gonna kick me off the ship, Skipper?
No. I actually appreciate your candor. You're a valued member of the team, and we wouldn't have gotten this far without you.
You're a valuable part of my crew, Williams. If I want an opinion from the head, I go to Alenko. When I want one from the heart, I go to you.
I also play a mean game of pool. But anyway, I've got things to do before we land. I'm sure you do too.
Dismissed, Chief.
Sir.
Never a dull moment with you, Shepard.
You ever go on any missions like ours before?
Saving the galaxy from certain destruction? No. But I've had my share of adventures.
Do you remember any that stick out?
A few. I remember one time I was hired by a Volus diplomat. What an ass.
Break it down for me, Rex. What was the job?
What did he want you to do?
He wanted me to erase his past. Get rid of an old friend who knew too much. Huh. His old friend turned out to be an Asari commando.
Ouch. Considering what we just had to face on Noveria, I can relate.
I can see why that might give you pause.
What? No. Alina and I were old friends. Sort of. We met when we were both contracted to kill the same Turian. Neither of us wanted the other one to get him first. We spent more time fighting each other than tracking that Turian.
Yeah, it actually comes as a shock to me that she would be a mercenary and not an official agent of Thessia.
An Asari commando mercenary? That's unusual, isn't it?
I wouldn't say it's unusual. Mercs come in all shapes. Anyway, when I told Alina about the diplomat's contract, she and I had a good laugh about it.
No doubt.
So what did you do?
Well, I wasn't going to lose the contract, but I respected Alina. In the end, I let her pick the location where we'd fight. She chose some old Solarian space station overrun with mercs and smugglers. That way we didn't have to worry about hurting any innocent bystanders. Huh. She always was a bit of a softie.
It's cute that we get to see the side of Rex.
What happened on the station?
What didn't happen? For 2 days I chased her through that station, used my entire store of ammunition, had to kill a bunch of mercs and use their crap weapons. By the 3rd day, the station was barely holding together. The mercs were dead or gone, life support was failing, but I had her. She'd locked herself in the med labs. She was trying to patch herself up. Damn tough, that one. Then just when I thought I had her, the station's core went critical. Barely made it back to my ship in time.
The way he speaks about Alina, he obviously reveres her. I think he'd appreciate me showing an interest.
I assume the Asari commando didn't make it?
I watched the station from a distance. I never saw her leave. And when that place blew, there was nothing left larger than a Turian's right nut. So I headed back to the diplomat to give him the good news and collect my pay. But before I got halfway there, Alina sent me a message. Better luck next time. Now, I'm not superstitious, but if someone can survive that, well, they deserve to live. At least for a bit longer.
Yeah, he got me all caught up in the mystique of this Asari. I almost forgot there was a mission.
What about the diplomat? He wanted her dead.
I told him the truth. Alina was still alive and she was really pissed. I told him if he wanted to live, he'd need me around to protect him.
KG, I approve. We just became friends recently, so I would like to nurture that.
You're smarter than you look, Rex.
He kept me on as his personal guard until he died. Natural causes. Easiest job I've ever had. A little boring, but credits are credits.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
If anyone is interested, I'm going to throw up a card here to a video of mine about Arya to Loke. There is a theory about Alina, Rex, and Arya and how they're all connected.
It feels like we're getting near the end, doesn't it, Shepard? With Saren, I mean.
I hope so. I really do. and this crew have earned the right to finish this.
It won't be much longer. One way or another, it'll all be over soon.
You'll find the conduit before he does. I know you will. You have to. And after this is all over, when my pilgrimage ends and I go back to my own people, I'll be proud to say I was a part of it.
And an important part, because of course she is. This bottom option is another one of those examples that is never getting used by anyone, ever, even the most renegade of renegades.
We couldn't have done this without you, Tali.
You've been good to me. A lot of people treat Quarians like second-class citizens. They just want us to go back to our fleet and disappear. But you've treated me just like everyone else on your crew. Like an equal. That means a lot, and it says something about you. Whatever happens, I just want to say thank you for that.
No, thank you. And you're welcome.
I'm going to miss you when you go back to your own people, Tali.
That won't happen for a while yet. I'll be right here anytime you need me.
I should go.
See you later.
These characters are just the greatest. And as much as I would love to pal around with my besties, we really do have to get moving, as there is an asteroid threatening to kill millions of innocent people. The asteroid in question sits above the human colony of Terra Nova. Let's go investigate.
Status. Sensors reveal 3 fusion torches propelling asteroid X-57. At its current rate of acceleration, the asteroid will collide with Terra Nova in approximately 4 hours. Analysis. Torches must be disabled to cease the acceleration.
Hello. I heard your transmission. Can you hear me? They haven't found me yet, but I can't talk long. Shut down the fusion torches. I'm going to die. God, I hope you're hearing this.
This has got to be in my top 3 of all of Mass Effect DLC. Yes, for the most part, it is nothing more than an extended Uncharted Worlds assignment, but it does do several things exceptionally well.
Headed in the right direction. I don't know who you are, but I'm... Damn it. Go.
And the first of said things...
Batarians.
That's right, the introduction of the Batarians. And for a people who we are supposed to already have a deep-seated hatred for, what better introduction than a bunch of rampaging terrorists? The main objective of this DLC is to shut down 3 separate propulsion devices that are hurtling the asteroid towards Terra Nova. Once we've taken out the Batarians, all it takes is a simple hack.
I'm reading that the torch is offline. Was that you? Can you hear me?
Who is this? If we do indeed have allies on the asteroid, then I think it is important that we know who.
Who are you? What's going on?
My name's Kate Bowman. I'm an engineer. I was part of the team assigned to bring this asteroid to Terra Nova. We were attacked yesterday by Batarian extremists. I've been hiding since they arrived. I think they know the torch went out.
Right now, what they want doesn't matter. I should keep moving.
Stay put. I'll get those other torches offline as soon as I can.
Thanks. I'll contact you when I can.
Hey.
Oh God. I didn't mean to... Are you hurt?
It's okay, I'm okay. It happens all the time.
My shields took the hit. No damage done. I'm with the Alliance. Commander Shepard.
Simon Atwell. I'm the chief engineer on this rock. Listen, we don't have much time. The Batarians fired up the fusion torches. You've got to shut them down before we hit Terra Nova. There are 4 million people down there, Shepard. My family. They live in Aronis. My kids and grandkids. Nice communities, good schools.
It really doesn't take a physicist to know what's going on here. I do understand the situation. A lot of people can die, and we need to stop that.
Batarians everywhere, and I need to shut down all 3 torches. Anything else I should know?
One of the torches is surrounded by live blasting caps. We were set up to excavate when we arrived at Terra Nova. I rigged them with proximity detectors. That tank of yours will set them off, so you'll have to go in on foot. Even then, they'll explode if you get too close. Just go slow and easy. You should be fine.
Figures. We're no stranger to this kind of adversity.
Should I requisition a cow to walk through ahead of me?
Look, you can disable them, just not remotely. I didn't have the equipment to set it up differently. There are manual controls by the entrance to the torch facility inside the blast zone. You can disarm the caps there. One last thing. I had a crew working off-site when the attack hit. I'm worried about them. These Batarians are ruthless. I saw them smash the faceplates of guys working vacuum. And those Varen, I don't think they always wait for a corpse before feeding.
Any idea where I can find them?
They were running checks on our perimeter equipment. Easiest thing would be to tap into the transmission tower out on the surface. The equipment stations will show up on your sensors.
They are not the priority, but I'll do what I can. I can promise no more than that.
I'll look for them, but the torches have to be my priority.
Yeah, you're right. Saving Terra Nova is more important than my team. There were a bunch of engineers over at the main facility, but they're probably all dead. That or being held hostage by the Batarians.
I'll keep him in the know. It should boost his morale, which in turn will also help everyone involved.
A woman named Kate Bowman contacted me. The Batarians haven't found her yet.
Katie's alive. She's one of my best engineers. She signed on with her brother, Aaron, I think his name is. He's part of the security detail. I hope they're okay.
Give me a worst-case scenario. We can't stop the asteroid. Could the colony be evacuated?
Shepard, it took 30 years for the population to grow that large. I'm sure they're moving people to remote areas, but they'd never be able to get more than a few thousand off-world. We just don't have enough ships. No one does. Well, maybe the Quarians, but I don't see them suddenly showing up and offering us a ride.
Why were you moving this thing in the first place?
Well, the idea was to drag it into Terra Nova's orbit, mine it out, and in the end you'd have a basic structure for an orbital station. It's a lot cheaper than getting everything up into orbit from the planet's surface. The minerals we extract almost cover the costs.
What can you tell me about Kate?
Smart as a whip and bold as they come. I hope she keeps hidden, if they find her. Oh, Katie, don't do anything stupid.
He's obviously just a civilian, so stay out of sight.
You'd better find a good place to hide. If the Batarians come back and find you...
Yeah, I think I'll make myself scarce. Good luck, Shepard.
If you consider that a lot of his people are essentially en route, then it fits the headcanon that locating them and taking down the torches simultaneously is possible. The victim was badly beaten before being killed with a pistol shot to the back of the head at close range. It's likely he surrendered, only to be executed by his sadistic captors. Fucking Batarians. Survey Station 3 final entry logged by Engineer G. Mendel. The central transmission tower is on the fritz again. No one ever listens to my warnings about single points of failure. I'm surprised our surface comms work half as well as they do. When Slages shows up to relieve me, I'll go see if I can get the old girl back up and running. It's sad that these civilian workers really did everything that they could, only to be killed in cold blood. This body has severe burns and shows signs of major concussive trauma. Mercifully, the explosion would have killed her instantaneously.
This is Dr. Himes. They found me, damn Batarians. I can hear them out there prowling around, trying to find a way in. It sounds like they're attaching something to the door. If I don't make it, tell my family I love them.
That is brutal.
You hear me? Getting all kinds of interference. Damn. Sorry. There's a lot of feedback. See if I can fix it. In the meantime, just keep doing...
This computer is filled with operation logs and personal journals for a small pirate music station operated by X-57's engineers. It includes scripts for several promotional messages, none of which appear to have been recorded. Radio X-57, rocking this rock since 2182. Radio X-57, when your world seems hollow, we help you touch the sky. Radio X-57, talk hard. Radio X-57, your last best hope for rock within 300,000 kilometers. These poor people. Huh. They play elevator music? Doesn't exactly rock, as they say. You notice an open text file, the personal journal of the station's operator. It reads in part, Project Director wants to shut us down, says our music is too extreme, that we're inciting the younger workers to riot and sleep with aliens. What? I asked him if he'd listen to us. He said he talked to someone who'd heard about what we play. Sounds like a real buzzkill.
Warning. Ground penetrating radar detects anti-vehicle demolition nearby. Proceed.
Eventually we come across this minefield that Simon warned us about, and after dying several times, we finally make it through and successfully shut down the torch.
Are you there? You've got to hurry. You've really pissed them off.
Good.
Their leader's setting charges everywhere. I think he's going to blow this whole facility.
Get away from there!
Don't shoot, please! No!
Who's shutting down the torches? I won't ask you again. Find this problem and deal with it. Get her out of here!
This Balak just activated Angry Shepard. Big mistake. One more torch to go, and then we can deal with him.
Release the Baron!
Another routine Batarian cleanup, and we can finally shut down the last torch. Terra Nova saved.
Hold it right there. This doesn't have to end in bloodshed.
Before moving on to Balak, we have to deal with this guy.
Don't come any closer. We can do this the hard way, or we can end this peacefully.
It does offer us an interesting alternate perspective on the Batarian's reasons for being here. If he does in fact offer us peaceful terms, I'm curious to hear it.
I didn't think you Batarians knew the meaning of the word.
Look, I'm just doing my job here. Hijacking this rock wasn't my idea. I signed on to make a little profit. A quick slave grab, nothing more.
Ugh, that did not help his case. Let's just pretend for a second I'm okay with that. Even still, do you not see this has gone too far?
This isn't just a slave grab anymore. Millions of people are gonna die.
Don't you think I know that? I'm just following orders here. If it were up to me, we'd have already left.
Then go. Get the fuck out of here. Before I change my mind.
Well, it's not too late. You can still leave.
I don't think so. Balak would skin me alive and sell my hide out of spite. Crazy bastard. This whole mission's gone to hell and I'm gonna pay for it.
So why follow him?
So why do you listen to him?
Good question. I had a bad feeling about this from the moment we landed. Now Balak wants you dead. And what Balak wants, Balak gets. I can't change that.
Don't be stupid. You're on the losing side.
Spoken like a true lackey. You get me out of here and I'll take care of Balak. Or you can take your chances with me.
Huh. An interesting proposal. It certainly has benefits over the current situation. Shut it down. This is Balak's problem now. I hope you're as quick with a gun as you are with your promises, for both our sakes.
Balak will get what's coming to him, and so will you if I ever catch you in human territory again. Are we clear?
Perfectly. Balak's holed up in the main facility. You'll need this to get in. Don't underestimate him. He's a mean bastard. Let's go. We're getting off this rock.
There's one last stop, and fortunately because the asteroid has been stopped, we have time for this. Survey Station 2 final entry logged by Chief Surveyor R. Montoya. Communications are down and there are non-corporate dropships landing near the main facility. There were flashes of light over the horizon. I can't be certain, but I'd guess it's heavy arms fire. As per emergency protocol, I'm arming the defense drones. I'm not waiting for my pickups. I'm going to investigate. After dealing with the drones, we follow some footsteps into the hills and locate the last of Simon's team. It looks like he died from a single shot through his helmet, likely from a sniper. Whoever killed him didn't even bother to search the body. There's still equipment in his service pack. Unfortunate. Balak is going to pay. We spend a good few minutes dealing with Balak's cronies, facing wave after wave of drones and Batarian soldiers alike, until the coward finally shows his face.
You humans. You're almost more trouble than you're worth.
Oh, buddy, you have no idea.
I'm just getting started.
Predictable, but this is over. I'm leaving this asteroid. If you try to stop me, I'll detonate these charges, and your helper and her friends are all going to die.
And in true Mass Effect fashion, I am fronted with a dilemma. On one hand, I cannot let this man escape. I want to kill him. On the other, I can't let these people die. Over my dead body, Balak.
You don't get to leave, Balak. Not after what you've done.
What I've done? This is nothing compared to what's been done with Batarians. We've been forced into exile, forced to survive on what we can scrounge up. It's been like that for decades.
Why blame us? What could we possibly have done to deserve genocide?
Why take it out on these people? They didn't do anything to you or the Batarians.
Didn't do anything. Aside from colonizing a world that could have been ours. Aside from using resources that should have been ours. We were left to defend ourselves. But the humans were stronger than us. We knew that. The Council knew that. But it didn't matter. It was you. You and your kind are the only reason we're in this position.
Okay, I hear you. But that doesn't make it right. And if I can see that, well...
How does killing innocent people make up for that?
We had no other options. Sometimes you need to get someone's attention before they'll listen.
And there we come to the crux of all this. He's a terrorist. And no matter how desperate the needs, you can never justify the means.
Is that what Elysium was? A way to get our attention? Well, you got it. And when we responded, you ran like cowards. Now you want to start it all over again.
Enough! You couldn't possibly understand. Actually, you just don't want to understand, and I'm done wasting my breath. Now, if you want your friends to live, I suggest you step aside.
It's not what he deserves, nor is it my preference, but my duty is to the hostages. I have to let him go.
You can go. But this isn't over. I'll find you eventually.
Maybe. But I made sure you won't follow me today. Those charges are still on a timer. Better hurry if you want to save your friends.
Deactivating all of the charges isn't too difficult, but it does leave you with a sour taste in your mouth.
He left. Is that all right?
Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter, so that's not your problem, Simon. It's my mistake to live with.
Forget it. Can you tell if the asteroid's stable?
You did it. Another hour and our course would have been irreversible. I ran the numbers, Shepard. X-57 would have struck near the capital city, the most densely populated region. But that's not going to happen, thanks to you. Is Katie in here? Is she all right? Is her team?
Well, I actually haven't found them yet, so I don't know.
I think so. There were hostages in one of the offices nearby. Balak said he'd blow them up if I didn't let him leave.
You let him go to save them? Is that... Will you get in trouble for that? I mean, he could do the same thing somewhere else, couldn't he?
It doesn't really matter. We saved lives today. The difference is, I showed him mercy in order to fulfill my duty. I'm nothing like him.
Yeah, he could. Balak seemed like a practical man. Practical but callous. I'm sure if he'd been in my place, Ms. Bowman would be dead now, along with all the terrorists. But I'm not going to sacrifice people who happen to be between me and my target.
So what happens now? The bad guys get away?
I've already said it. It doesn't matter. All that matters is what we did today. And we saved millions. That's a win no matter what side you're on.
Yes, Balak gets away. But does that really matter? Terra Nova is safe. Kate and her crew are safe. You're safe. Meantime, Balak's lost his followers, he's lost a lot of material, and he didn't accomplish anything. I think we won here, Simon.
Well, when you put it that way, yeah. I guess it'll be a long time before he can try doing this to anyone else. Shepard, thank you for my grandchildren's lives. I don't think I'll stick around, though. Not with the team gone. Too many ghosts.
It's time for me to get back and spend some time with my family. Before I go, I'd like to offer you something. Maybe you'll have more use for it than I will. As lead engineer, I get some quality items. Take your pick. You've earned it.
This is basically just free charm or intimidate points. Because either way I get the Omni tool. It's just a matter of whether or not I ask nicely or threaten him, which I'm not going to do.
I know it's a lot to ask, but that Omni tool of yours? I could really use something like that.
Shepard, I think I mentioned that you saved my kids and grandkids. What's an Omni tool compared to that? Take it, with my blessing. I hope you get good use out of it.
And yes, I guess I need to tell him about the unfortunate business involving his engineers. I'm very sorry to have to tell you this, Simon.
One more thing. You asked me to look into your missing engineers?
Have you found them?
I found them alright, and they didn't make it.
Yes, all of them. Their bodies, anyway.
Oh. I see. Well then, I guess it's better than not knowing.
Take care of yourself.
Be well, Shepard. We owe you.
I can't believe you let Balak go. To save us. I half expected you to just let us die. Sacrifice the few for the many.
I mean, I can be brutal, but not needlessly callous.
Then I'd be no better than the Batarians. Besides, Balak won't get away with this. I know who he is now. He can't run forever.
You sound like my brother. He was always so stubborn, but always willing to do the right thing, no matter what.
There's no need to pry, so I'll just say I'm sorry.
I wish I could have saved him, too.
It's not your fault. You did what you could. At least Aaron died in a place he loved. He was the one who convinced me to join the team here. Said it would be an adventure. I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but I should see to Aaron.
I understand. You've been through enough today. I'll get out of your way.
Thank you. I don't even know your name.
I mean, why not? I'm Commander Shepard.
Shepard. Commander Shepard.
Thank you, Commander Shepard. You're not exactly what I expected, but thank you.
What can you tell me about the Batarians? What were they hoping to achieve with all this?
I don't even think they knew. When they first arrived, they were talking about getting us back to their ship. Wanted to sell us as slaves. When Balak showed up, everything changed. It was his idea to redirect the asteroid. Said it was the will of the Batarian rebellion, whatever that is. They followed him quickly enough, but I don't know. I don't think they're all as fanatical as he was.
That was a brave thing you did, Kate. Contacting me on the radio, risking your life.
Stubborn and determined runs in the family. My father was in the Alliance back on Earth. I think he was disappointed none of his kids signed up, but he'd be proud of Aaron. Sorry.
How did the asteroid get all the way over here? Why wasn't someone alerted sooner?
The asteroid was scheduled to arrive in a day or two. Balak just sped it up. This rock is full of valuable minerals, but it was too far from Terra Nova to be profitable, so we attached some fusion rockets to it and drove it back. It was all going smoothly until... We'll get everything back to normal soon enough. Almost everything.
You've been through a lot. I'll get out of your way. So long, Kate.
I appreciate that, Commander. Goodbye.
Well, that was a rather somber ending. The emotions keep getting deeper and the stakes keep getting higher. If you're enjoying this series, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell notification icon to be informed of the next episode. Keeler Salai, my friends, and until next time.
I should go.